Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Hey, time is ticking. Tick, 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 tick. Because there's a bunch of bombs that we're going to have to defuse cooperatively together. But we're not doing all the dirty work. We are programming our robot from afar to do this for us, but we got to watch out that his batteries don't run out. We are talking about Bomb Squad here from Tasty Minstrel Games. It's for 2 to 6 players. It's a cooperative game that lasts no more than 30 minutes, usually less because you will explode a lot in this game. Let me show you how it's played. I'll see you on the other side. Bomb Squad comes with a scenario guide that has 14 total missions, which includes 2 training missions that you can go to set the board up. It tells you where to set things, what your success criteria is, scoring, and the different bombs and how much time you have to do them. Now, it also comes with a free app on iOS or Android that you can use, and I've just selected this mission, and you can start. It can play music, it can play heartbeats, and things will go because this is a real-time game. Now in this game, you're going to have cards, but you won't get to see them. You'll see everybody else's cards except your own. And what you're going to be doing is you're going to be trying to give people information about their cards. You're going to be placing cards down here to program the robots. And the robot is going to be moving and trying to free hostages, disarm bombs, go through doors, free the hostage, go through the door, and disarm the bomb. In this first scenario, this training mission, that's what we're trying to do. Now in this game, there's 3 different colors of cards. They're also known as levels, and there's 4 different action types. So we have move actions, and you'll see we have a red, yellow, blue for all of these. Red is always sort of level 1 cards. So the red move is going to move you 1, a yellow is going to move you 2, and a blue is going to move you 3. We have a rescue hostage. It's basically a red, which is level 1, level 2, and level 3. We have open door, same thing. This opens a red door, or a level 1 door. This opens level 2. And this opens level 3, and this is disarming a red bomb, a yellow bomb, and a blue bomb. Those are all the different kind of cards in the deck. So we know we're going to have this robot come out here, and we want to pretty much come and rescue this hostage and go disarm this bomb right off the bat. Now when you get ready, you start the timer, and things would run, and I have a heartbeat playing there. And basically, this would be my hand because I couldn't see it. These 2 people would be holding their cards in their hand towards me. I have them on the table now, but they'd be holding them so that they can't see their own cards. They would look like that to them. So these are the other 2 players I'm playing with, and this is me holding my cards towards me. On my turn, I could do one of 4 things. Most of the time, I'm going to be giving intelligence or intel to somebody. When I do that, I can do it in one of 2 ways. I can talk about colors or actions. If I wanted to use colors, I could say to this person, and I have to say all of them, these 4 are your red cards. I can't just say this one's red. I have to say as many red that there are. So I say, these 4 are red cards. And he goes, okay. So that's this guy's turn. And he looks at this guy and goes, these 2 are your blue cards. Okay, and then this guy might look to me and say, these 2 are hostage cards. So I go, okay, I might rearrange them and put them on the end and say, okay, these ones are hostage, I don't know what color. But later on, if he comes to me and he says, these 2 cards are red cards. Well, I know that these 2 are both red hostage cards. I could come here and say, these 2 are disarm cards because they disarm the bomb. Now he knows this one's red because I told him it before. He doesn't know what color this is, but he knows that these are disarm. And maybe this guy, he can give anybody a clue if he wants. He might look at this and go, these 2 are your move cards. So that's one of the things you can do on your turn. It moves very fast. And one thing you can do is give intel like that. Another thing somebody can do on their turn, again, you're only doing one thing, but let's say it became around someone's turn, they can play a card and they'll put it in the smallest from left to right here. Well, this is starting to build a programming of what the robot's going to do. And maybe the next player also plays this. So now there's 2 cards played with single moves. Now let's say a little bit later on down the turn, it looks like this. For an action, someone can activate the robot. And when they activate it, they take all these cards and they rearrange them. Now looking here, it says no discard. If you've played this many cards or less, you can discard any one of these, but I get to rearrange them in any order that I want. So now looking at this, what I want to do is, okay, I can move, which would put them here. I could move again, put them here. I could move, put them here, and I could rescue because you can't go on top. You have to be next to anything. So this would rescue, and this is the one card I could discard and get rid of, and we have freed the hostage, and we would kind of put him over here And boom, yes, we got it. Then we would get rid of all these cards and we would begin again and keep going. Now, we used this much battery life, 8. So we would have to take the battery down 8. So we start on 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We go down to 4. If this gets down to 1, you start using a reserve battery. If the reserve battery gets all the way down past 1, you lose the game. Another thing you can do is discard a card. And if you do so, you have an opportunity to get battery life back. If I say I'm discarding a yellow card, and I put this down, I get 1 battery left. If I say I am throwing down a disarm card, I get 1 battery. If I say I'm throwing down a blue disarm card, and I get both the color and the type, I get to go up 2. But if I say I'm throwing down a yellow open card, well, I got open right, but I got the color wrong, I don't move up anywhere on the battery life. So it's sort of a press your luck element there as well. That's how you gain battery life. Also, let's say we were moving the robot and he was there, and then we had to open a door. That was the last thing there. We couldn't have discarded it. If you can't do what the card says when the robot's programmed, you also lose 2 more additional battery life. That's pretty much the whole game. You're giving intel. Also, anytime you discard a card, you pick up one to make sure you have the same amount of cards. Also, the amount of cards you start with differs depending on how many players you have. And there's no talking. The only talking you can do in this game is when you're giving someone intel. Other than that, nobody can speak. And so that's it. You're either giving intel, you're discarding a card, you're playing a card, or you're activating a robot. And again, you're trying to do whatever the mission says, and at the end, you'll find out if you win. So the game ends in 1 of 3 ways. Either your battery falls below 0 and you lose, the robot has disarmed the last bomb and we win, or the bomb detonates and the building explodes, which happens in other scenarios. Now there's this scoring method that happens here. Other than the training missions, which you have to do everything, there's some missions where you don't have to get all of the hostages, but you'll get more points for them. For example, each hostage rescued and each bomb disarmed 2 times the face value of the token. This has 2, so this would be worth 4 points if I rescue them. But they're 1 point if I don't rescue them. If I disarm all bombs, I get 5 points plus 1 point for every guy sitting around, as opposed to getting 4 for them for helping them. You also get penalties for using batteries, minus 1 point for every battery. And so depending on how you do on your points, you get a certain amount of stars for a standard or epic. I'll show you a little bit about that in a moment, but there's just some scoring that you can do to see how well you do. For example, this is mission 6. Look how many tiles it has. This is a large map, uses 4 big tiles, and these red ones are ones that you would use for epic scoring. Look at this. You've got different things going on. This one's going to be a 30-minute game if you play it all the way through. The first ones are about 16 minutes. Now this is the basic robot. He has no special abilities. You can use robots that have them, like may move and activate diagonally when crossing an intersection. Or this one, may complete partial movement from move cards without incurring a programming error. Because normally if you have to move in a straight line, if you hit a wall or you can't complete your movement, you lose those 2 batteries as I showed you, but he can do a partial movement. And this guy here, he may reach tiles 1 space away, not diagonally, not through objects or walls. So essentially, he helps you in that way. There's also a lot of special cards that you can take and have for special abilities. You could be one of these characters for the game. For example, the Negotiator, you may save any hostage with any hostage card, so it doesn't matter what color the hostage card is. You may disarm any bomb with any bomb card, so that's the Technician. The Sergeant, when you take a play action, you may do so using the top card of the discard pile, so you can grab stuff out of there. If you perform a play action on your turn, you may also perform a bonus give intel action. Your hand size is increased by 1. So you can see there's lots of different roles here. I mean, there's a ton of them. Good artwork, lots of replayability here. And you can see there's a ton of tiles here. They're each double-sided. You'll use certain ones in different scenarios for the game, but there's, again, a lot of replayability here, a lot of different tiles, and that's how you play Bomb Squad. All right, well, there's Bomb Squad. I was interested in this enough that I backed it. I played it not this past Gen Con, but Gen Con 2014. I played it actually with Rado and the designers of the game and the Tasty Minstrel press event, and I fell in love with the game immediately, and I backed it. It went on Kickstarter shortly after that, and I backed it right away, and I gotta say, I love this game. Essentially, if you mix Hanabi with Escape the Curse of the Temple and with Robo Rally, this is what you get. This game is very intense. It is not for everybody. There's gonna be plenty of people that will hate this game, but there'll be people like me that absolutely love this game. I don't think there's going to be middle ground with this. You're going to be one camp or the other. So how does it feel like? So it's got that Hanabi thing where you got your card side backwards and you're giving people orders of, hey, these are all your reds, these are all your yellows, or these are all your open doors, and you're putting them down. and you're also trying to program the robot. Now, I'm not sure I showed you in the overview, but that first mission, you're programming those things, you're putting those cards face up. Every mission after that, you're putting your cards face down, which makes it a lot harder. Because when you're the one that's like putting cards down, you might not know everything about that card, but someone says, that's a move card. Okay, well, he must be telling me something about it. I better play it. I put it down. Well, I don't know if it's a red move, a yellow move, or a blue move. So the person who's playing cards is at a little bit of a disadvantage there. And unlike Hanabi, where you're like struggling, thinking to give like the most effective, efficient clues, this game, time is money. You're just a bop, a bop, a bop, a bop. You gotta move fast. You might give the same person the same clue 3 times in a row, but you gotta go fast and give clues fast. So it's like Hanabi, but it feels completely different because of how different the clues are that you're giving. They're just fast instead of good. Speed is the key here. I love this game. It has that tension feeling. I like the apps that they have there to go with the timers, and you're trying to do things fast. You can't talk. Oh, it's so there. And then you got all the replayability with the 12 different missions plus the 2 other ones, the training missions. You got all the different robots. You get the different characters with the special abilities. Oh, this game is awesome. I love it. I highly recommend it. But if you don't like Escape the Curse of the Temple and you don't like Hanabi, this game is not for you. The Robo Rally part, yeah, you're programming a robot, but you can discard a card, and once you've picked it up, you can rearrange them in any order. So even though it's sort of like Robo Rally, it's not as much as you may think. So if you don't like Robo Rally, don't discard this just because of that. That's it. If you're ready to get your heart pumping and your brain turning at the same time, then check out this awesome game of Bomb Squad from Tasty Mistral Games. And I am going to be keeping this in my gaming library, so let's induct it properly with a saxophone serenade.